Hello everyone, welcome. It's Dr. Zelina here with AcuVida. Happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Hello Rosana. Thank you for joining me. This is Conversations to Empower, an IG live series that I started a few weeks ago with the intention of giving you guys all types of uplifting, inspiring, and empowering information. Hey, Anthony. Thanks for joining. Today's session is Ask Me Anything. So I'm opening up for a live Q&A. You are welcome to join me and ask me anything. If this is your first time seeing me, you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Zelina with AcuVida Acupuncture. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and natural medicine. I have a practice in Highland Park, which is in Los Angeles, California, an acupuncture practice. I work with natural medicine and I utilize different modalities that are natural to facilitate the body's own self-healing mechanisms. I like to get to the root causes of healing and help to empower my patients and educate my patients and also my clients. I do also work virtually to heal, to find different ways to heal. Hey, Mike. So as I mentioned, this is Conversations to Empower. This is all information to uplift, inspire, and empower you all. And today's session is Ask Me Anything. Hi, Zoe. So you guys are welcome to ask me anything. It's a live Q&A. Anything you're curious about, anything you've recently heard in the news. If you're looking for a specific remedy, if you have a symptom and you're not sure what it means, this is your opportunity to ask me anything. It's kind of like having a little virtual consult right at your fingertips. Until somebody asks me a question, I'll just keep rambling on about whatever health information or health topics come to mind. So I'll tell you guys something I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about something that I recently decided. I've made the decision. Actually, before I tell you, I'm not sure how many of you guys are aware that our wireless technology is causing a lot of health problems. Specifically for me, I've noticed, I don't have an EMF meter, but I actually just ordered one. But I suspect that I have EMF sensitivity. Not sure if any of you guys know what EMF sensitivity is, but EMF stands for electromagnetic frequencies. It's like a tongue twister. Electromagnetic frequencies are these invisible waves that are emitted from different types of devices, be them wired or wireless. The wireless devices particularly have very disruptive EMF frequencies that disrupt our own frequency, because we are also made of energy. We are beings that also have a heart and a brain, both organs that are electrically charged. So they're electric. We have electricity. We're energy. When we are being exposed, especially when we're often exposed to this wireless technology, what it does is it causes a signal disruption. It's kind of like if you're, driving up in the hills in the forest, you have your FM radio on, and then there's no more signal. It cuts out. Or the signal starts to get distorted as you're driving up the hill. So our signals get distorted. And when our signals get distorted, that translates to anxiety, stress, depression, headaches, backaches, hand aches if you're holding your phone for a long time, lack of sleep, insomnia, even sometimes paranoia, addictive types of disorders. And then in the long term, it has an effect on how our heart is functioning. So it can have an effect as far as like heart disease is concerned, neurodegenerative conditions, which are basically brain health conditions. So it actually has a long-term effect on how your brain is deteriorating. It actually makes it deteriorate faster. There's not a lot of science published on the effects of wireless technology because the wireless industry did not have to go through that rigorous process because there's so much money involved with wireless technology. They were able to bypass that, because if they did go through clinical trials, like if all of these cell phones, particularly the cell phone that I'm on now, my iPhone, if all of these iPhones and cell phones had to go through those rigorous clinical trials that other products do, and like medications and drugs, they would never have passed. They are full of radiation and other cancer causing and disease causing technology. So anyway, I'm sharing all of this because number one, I want you to be aware, but number two, how can we fix that? Well, there's several different ways. Number one, the obvious one, hey Letty, is the most obvious one is limiting or even avoiding use of wireless technology. So how can you do that? It's very hard to do that in the type of age we live in now, especially now because a lot of us are quarantined. How are we supposed to stay in touch with our loved ones? So, cell phones, everybody's on their cell phone, and particularly smartphones, everybody's on their smartphone. So number one, what you can do is the obvious choice, limiting your exposure. So instead of using a lot of wireless technology, go backwards in time and start using more wired technology. Instead of having a Wi-Fi router, you can hardwire into your Ethernet port. I'm actually taking those steps to do that in my home. The other thing you can do is downgrade your phone. I know that sounds crazy, right? Who would want to do that? For me, the risks outweigh the benefits of owning a cell phone and a smartphone specifically. So anyway, I'll cut to the chase. There's a couple of different ways you could limit your use. You could hardwire your internet, or at the very least, you could turn off your Wi-Fi router at night so that those signals are not disrupting you while you're sleeping, because sleep is such an important time for your body. So turn off your Wi-Fi router at night, limit your use of your cell phone. If you must keep your smartphone, do not keep it on your body or in any pockets. Put it somewhere else, in a purse, on a desk. Definitely don't sleep with it close to your head. Ideally, don't sleep with it in your room. Ideally, sleep with it leave it in the living room or in the kitchen charging or whatever, but don't sleep with it in your room. Definitely don't sleep with it near your body, and definitely not near your head. The other thing you can do is, there are a lot of different devices out there that can harmonize and reduce the EMF frequencies in your home. It's kind of like a detox for your home of the frequencies. I personally use something called a Somavedic device. If any of you guys are interested in that device, send me a DM and I'll send you the details. I love it. I started using it last September, and ever since then I've been sleeping through the night, which I wasn't before, and so has my baby. So it's amazing. Anyway, my announcement and what I'm really excited about is that I just ordered an old school Nokia phone, which I'm supposed to be getting tomorrow. I'm very excited because I'm going to stop using my smartphone for 90% of my communication. I'm going to keep my smartphone only for you guys, for my IG lives. That's it. I'm not going to be checking my emails on my phone anymore. I'm not going to be, what else do I do on my phone? That's most of what I do is check emails. But I'm not going to have a smartphone for everyday use anymore. I'm going to take the SIM card out of my iPhone and I'm going to put it in my Nokia phone. It cost me $30 and I'm excited. I can't wait. It's like those old school Nokia phones from 2000. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, I'm going to go into your questions now. Okay, I know I have a couple. Rosana says, I'm interested in weight loss. Do you have any recommendations also for anxiety? Yes. That is a very broad issue, the weight loss and the anxiety. We would have to talk about where the root cause is coming from. But off the top, very simple practices that can be incorporated is, number one, walk every day. That's going to reduce your anxiety and it's going to help manage your weight. Walking every day helps to reduce the stress hormone called cortisol. Cortisol often gets elevated, especially at the very beginning of the day, and it triggers our fight or flight response. Our fight or flight response is what causes that anxiety feeling. It creates this rush of adrenaline, this rush of cortisol. It's almost like this. Our body's essentially preparing to fight a lion or run away from a lion. And that is a fear mechanism that is important for the body for those types of situations. But unfortunately, we are often in that same state because of the stressful conditions that we live under, all of the technology, all of the environmental factors, the very fast-paced lives that we live, even though right now we're kind of slowing down, which is great. But anyway, when there's too much cortisol, it does affect your anxiety, and it does have an effect on weight management. It actually makes you retain weight. When we are in a fight or flight mode, we are not resting and digesting. It actually, when we're in fight or flight mode, like when we're feeling stressed out, when we're anxious, the rest of the processes in our body stop. Everything else shuts down. Our digestive system is barely getting by. Our endocrine system is barely, it's on high alert. Everything starts to kind of shut down because all of our resources are being taken into this emergency prospect situation. So that means that the digestive system is not processing the way it should. And after a prolonged amount of time, we do tend to retain weight and so many other different things, which I can go on and on about, but I don't want to take up too much time talking about that. But walking is number one. If you can start doing walking every day, 20 to 30 minutes or longer, that would be ideal. There are also herbs and supplements out there that can help to regulate your cortisol levels as well as your weight. So if you have more questions about that, if you need more specific help, I can definitely talk to you. You can book a free discovery session via the link on my bio, and we can talk. It's free. We can talk a little bit more about any specifics that you need. But start with walking. Definitely getting your 8 hours of sleep is super important, and try to limit the use of your technology, especially cell phones, social media, things like that. And especially the hour before you go to bed, that's the worst time to be on the phone. Let's see. What else? Zoe says, what type of yoga do you practice? I believe it's called Hatha yoga. I do yoga every morning. I actually devote about an hour of my time very early in the morning, around 5:30, to do yoga and meditation. It's a very nice way for me to start my day. I have a 2-year-old, so I need to be really engaged with her. So I have to do it before she wakes up. Otherwise, it doesn't work. But yeah, it's Hatha yoga. Any yoga is really amazing. I don't recommend Bikram too much because you sweat a lot. But any of the other yogas are great. Ashtanga yoga is really restorative. Yin yoga is really restorative. Vinyasa yoga is very nice because it's a lot of flowy movements for people that get bored with yoga. Vinyasa is a good one. There's tons of stuff on YouTube that you can get for free. But anything that moves your body, I'm a fan of and I encourage. So yes, absolutely. And if you have more questions, Zoe, we can talk, individually. As far as yoga is concerned. Always, when it comes to yoga or any fitness routine, if you are injured or have any health conditions, you need to always consult with a licensed healthcare professional to make sure that you're cleared to do those specific body movements, because sometimes that can aggravate a condition, like a back injury or anything like that. Zelina's always wanted to do that. Maybe the phone thing? Do it. Let's see. Any other questions? Hi, guys. I'm just waiting to everybody that's on here. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. It's really guys. If anybody join me and talk, you can set questions. I would have one of you if you. This is great information. Thank you. Thank you for listening. You're welcome. So anyway, back to my dumb phone that I ordered. There's actually a big movement for people downgrading their phones. People downgrading because they want to be more present in their lives, because they realize that being on their smartphones is such a distraction and such a time suck. So a lot of people, like myself, want to change all that. I realized one day that I was kind of spending too much time on my phone. The main reason why I am opting out of having a smartphone is because of my daughter. She's 2 years old and she already knows what a phone is, and I don't like that. I didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up watching my parents on smartphones every day, and I know I grew up in the 80s, but I just know that it's not the way that I want her to. I don't want to be that kind of role model. I don't want to be that mom that's always on her phone. No judgment to any other moms that, have to do it because of whatever reasons, but I'm more of an extreme holistic. And actually, I got the idea from another acupuncturist who called herself an extreme holistic. She said that she didn't even own a cell phone. And I got really intrigued by that possibility. I'm like, wow, life without a cell phone, how freeing would that be? Like, how much time would I get back in my day to just, do things that are more physical, like being in the moment, being present, communicating with whoever I'm with in person instead of in the phone and, being zoned in on this screen. I agree that technology is amazing and it is a way to keep us connected, but studies are showing that it is actually disconnecting us more, because the majority of the population is stuck on their phones more so than they are socializing with people in person. I realize that right now it's very difficult to socialize with people in person, and so I understand that it can be difficult to make that switch. And I'm not, trying to tell everybody or trying to impose my beliefs, but I'm just sharing where I'm at, my personal situation. I think I also am very unique in the sense that I went through life-changing experiences that involved my health. I don't know how this exposure is going to affect my child, who's only 2 years old and has been exposed to wireless technology since she was conceived in my womb. That's a long time, and we won't know the long-term effects for another 20, 30, 40 years. But given the history of technology and what we do know now, I know that it's not going to be a positive thing. It's not a positive thing to have kids on wireless devices. I feel personally and professionally that wireless devices are the biggest threat to human health, in addition to vaccines. So anyway, if no one else has any other questions, I realize that this pandemic has everybody on edge, so I don't want to get too into a lot of those details, but if any of you guys have any other questions regarding your health, please send me a DM. I'm going to be signing off now, but thank you guys all so much for joining me. I really appreciate the support. I encourage the engagement. Look out for next Monday. We'll be doing this again. I may have a guest, or I may do an Ask Me Anything, or I may do a guided meditation. I appreciate your guys' flexibility. I am committed to keep providing content for you that is factual, not fear-based, and to continue to uplift, inspire, and empower you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week. Take care.